rainy Sunday afternoon. This is the Indy Kid coming at you on behalf of Talking Vols. Just want to get into this Rocky Top recap and recap the week that was in Tennessee sports. Before we get into that, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe and make sure you check out the channel. That way you're getting updates when we may go live. I would expect a live show sometime this week. We haven't nailed down the date on that yet, but look for Boogie and Vols JP as Vols JP dropped a recruiting video this morning detailing a good video detailing basically the in-state recruiting and where he thinks the Vols are going and what they'll end up with there. Boogie's been dropping practice videos this week as well, and there's some good position previews we've dropped as well. But just kind of want to recap kind of all the different sports this week. And been a couple weeks since we got in that, just so many videos we've been producing stuff. But, none of this is possible without you guys. You guys help drive the channel. You help drive us to make these videos. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. And, just leave a like, leave a subscribe, leave me some comments on here, whether you agree or disagree. If you don't like what I'm doing, give me some constructive feedback. Don't just tell me I suck and, and say nothing else. But, let's get into it. I'm gonna first start off, not what you expect. I'm gonna go a little Vol baseball here as Tennessee just concluded the weekend sweep of number 22 LSU. Big game, exciting series as Friday night Chad Dallas dealt a 3-1 victory on Friday night. Last night's game, Tennessee was up 7-4. LSU fought back, took the lead 8-7, and then the rains came, delayed it until today. And then the man, Drew Gilbert, he comes through, game-tying double in the bottom of the ninth that ties the game up, and then in the bottom of the 11th, walk-off bomb that seals the series for Tennessee. And then, of course, 30-minute break, and they come back. Freshman Blade Tidwell, who has been their Sunday starter, kind of been one of their main guys so far, was the SEC Freshman of the Week last week. He was dealing again today. Good game, very good game. LSU tied it up 2-2 late, and then Tennessee come in, got a base hit to start the they just was going 7 today since it was a doubleheader, but bottom of the 8th, base hit started off, and then the infield was in for LSU. Durkay faked like he was going to bunt, and he hit one in the hole. Heck of a play from the LSU shortstop. Got him at first. I thought he looked safe, but umpire review, they didn't change it. And then LSU come up and, they walked Rucker, and then they walked Drew Gilbert and loaded it up. LSU got a strikeout, and then Lipsius hits a base hit to center, diving LSU guy, misses it. Tennessee sweeps the weekend and wins 9-8 right there. And big win, big weekend. Just, LSU, a traditional, strong college baseball program. How many times have they've won it numerous times in my lifetime. And, a traditional, strong program. Great win, great weekend for them. And now Tennessee moves on Tuesday night against Western Carolina. And then next weekend they're back into conference play against Alabama. But if you guys haven't checked them out, this is a fun team to watch. This is a real good team playing some good ball right now. They're sitting at 21-4 on the year. And so Alabama next weekend in Tuscaloosa, then Eastern Kentucky, and then you got Florida coming to town. Florida was ranked 5th going into today, but they got swept this weekend by South Carolina. So you can't have an off week in this conference. And, we go on about how good it is in football. It is even better in baseball. It is ridiculous. Last week, the top 5 were all SEC with Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Florida. Insane. Absolutely insane how strong this conference is in baseball. And Tennessee's setting it. Depending on the poll you look at, I think they're still 10th, 12th according to ESPN. But, that's good for, 6th or 7th in the conference. That is absolutely crazy. But, you got to bring it every weekend. that's SEC baseball, and once you get to the tournament, you got to bring it because it doesn't matter. We've seen smaller schools win the national championship in baseball. It doesn't have to be, a blue blood or anything like that. But, great job by the Base Vols, rolling, big weekend win, and now they'll move on to Western Carolina and then Alabama. But if you guys haven't invested in ESPN Plus, if you have that opportunity, $5 a month, a little bit more change. You get so much stuff on it, especially you get all the Vols baseball games on it. The only one I've not been able to find was when they played Charlotte earlier on, and I couldn't find that one, maybe because it was at Charlotte for some reason. But, well worth the investment, as you can watch so much stuff on there. But that's going to wrap up my baseball part of it. Let's get into, the Lady Vols softball. They were supposed to play Troy this weekend. Both games got rained out there. Last I saw with them, they're ranked 21st, as they had a couple wins earlier in the week over Kennesaw State. Lady Vols basketball, number 3 seed, was put out by Michigan earlier in the week. So I know it's not the finish they were looking for, but it's a program still. I think it's on the rise. I think Kelly Harper's starting to bring in some recruits. She had her work cut out for her, guys. Make no mistake about it. She come into not your traditional Lady Vols program. She had her work cut out, and she's doing a good job down there right now. And, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I think she's doing a good job getting them back. Obviously, getting put out in the second round was a setback, but, recruiting is starting to pick up. Getting back to that Lady Vols recruiting way, getting back to that Ladies Vols program. I think, if they stay the course here, that they're on their way back for sure. But, it's a different SEC, and it's been because South Carolina's been strong in the conference, had that win over them this year. But, the Lady Vols I think they are on the rise. Again, they are on their way back. And, obviously football back in session. I'll touch upon that last. Want to hit with the men's basketball. And, we've had the videos, we've had the live shows, had the Orange Blazers talking about the men's basketball team. A lot of speculation what would happen with this roster going forward. And a little bit of that starting to take shape this week as Devontae Gaines and Drew Pember entered the portal. Wouldn't surprise me, and I don't know who or what, but I wouldn't be surprised to see more roster attrition. Obviously, still expect Jaden Springer and Keon Johnson to enter the draft. I don't think E. Pons comes back, although he hasn't announced that yet. John Fulkerson's going to be a big decision. What does he do? I mean, the last game at home against Florida, his reaction led me to believe that's a guy who was done down there. But, he may be back. Who knows? I think he's got a decision to make as to what he wants to do, because I don't know what his pro prospects are. I'm sorry. Right now. So what's his options for pro versus coming back? Definitely if he wants to come back, I know he would be welcome down there, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some more attrition there. I've got some names in mind, but I'm not going to name names of guys who may or may not leave because it's kind of unfair in terms of leaving and stuff. But I think I'd seen earlier in the week where it was a college basketball portal. In one day, there was close to 70 kids. 70 players entered the portal. So there's going to be a lot of guys out there. It's going to be pretty fierce and competitive. And, there's some guys out there who could really help Tennessee. And I expect them to be aggressive there because I think you're going to have as much as 6 to 7 spots to fill, not including Kennedy Chandler, who's coming in, and then the Maschak kid from California, and including them, you're still going to have close to 5 positions to fill. I really think at least that. And, if they get the right guys, it could transform this team. And because there's some concern, there's some talent coming back. There's some, the point guard that we've been missing's coming in, but they need more pieces. And, Barnes and company, obviously Kim English, leaving to go to George Mason. Seen Jarvis Hayes, who used to play at Georgia, played in the NBA for a bit. Seen his name mentioned as a possible replacement. He would be an Atlanta connection right there, which is, big basketball. area. Definitely love to get into that Atlanta area right there with recruiting. But we'll see where this team goes. I think there's going to be a lot to talk about this offseason. And, when there's some stuff to talk about, we'll try to bring you a video and kind of update you as to what's going on right there. And then, last but not least here, spring practice, 2 practices in. We did the impromptu live show yesterday and kind of let the video play of the offensive coordinator, Alex Golish. Really interesting what he has to say as he praised multiple times the offensive line. Talked about the job Glenn Ellerby is doing with that offensive line. And when have we heard praise for the offensive line? Or when's the last time we've heard praise for an offensive line down there? And, hopefully it's not all coach speak. Because, how much of it's coach speak, how much of it's the real deal. But very positive guy. It's obvious there's a lot of teaching, a lot of coaching. He says, yeah, you may make that mistake one time, but if you'll be coachable, we're going to coach you up. We're going to teach you, and you won't make that mistake again. And, it's only natural guys are going to make mistakes in a new program, in a new system. But I like the support. I like that, I don't think they're going to have these guys overthinking things. They're going to let them play. That was one of the things that they've said before. That was what the quarterback's coach had talked about. We're going to coach you up, and then we're going to let you go out there and play ball. And that's exciting, and I think it's going to be that way on both sides. This staff seems to genuinely mesh together, genuinely like each other, and I just really like the mix on it. Some of the guys on the offensive side, maybe we don't know much about. They've been with Heupel at different stops along the way. They came with him from Central Florida, but to have that continuity right there, that's what you want. I don't think you want a head coach to come in and just start hiring a bunch of random guys who've never coached together or may know each other or what have you. That continuity, as he brought most of his guys with him. And running backs coach, the guy who he had hired as the running backs coach is going to be an analyst, Matt Merritt. Cody Burns was hired from Auburn right before, so there is some continuity. And then Jerry Mack come in from Rice, I believe it was. And so there's continuity, familiarity, and stuff. And then the defensive side with Tim Banks, Brian Jean-Marie, Willie Martinez, Rodney Garner. These are all guys with experience. They've had success. They've coached well. They've recruited well. And Mike Eckler as well. He's a crazy he's a fun guy. If you've got Twitter, follow him on there. This is a dude that he is loving Knoxville. He's really enjoying. This has got to be a guy. I would imagine he's a pretty, fiery guy. Probably, if he needs to get on you, will. But I would imagine this is probably an awesome dude to play for. Real energetic, real positive guy. Loves Knoxville already, it seems like. Loving being at UT. And, it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome to see as, I'd said before, I'm not going on about previous staff, and we'll stick to that. I like what I see. We'll see where this team goes. And, hopefully recruiting will start to pick up again. If you haven't listened to that, check out Vols JP's recruiting video this morning. Did an excellent job breaking down the in-state recruiting class and really around those top 15 prospects and where we stand there with them. And, again, make sure you check out just the channel, subscribe, be on the lookout on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, right there as, lots of videos, lots of content dropping. And again, if you haven't checked out the Base Vols, they're a fun team to watch. One of the best teams on campus right now. And I know people said, well, that's probably the best team on campus. But there's a lot of good stuff going on. I was looking at the tennis team is ranked like 3rd. The golf team, they were in strong contention this weekend coming into today's final round. Track and field seems to be going good. So there's a lot of good stuff going on. Obviously, the main programs is where all the, the focus kind of goes and stuff. But, check out utsports.com as you can get an update on all the UT sports. A lot of stuff it's not published a lot of stuff it doesn't get the headlines. But there is a lot of good stuff going on in Knoxville, and I think a lot of programs hopefully are on the rise right now. But I appreciate you guys tuning in on this Sunday. Stay dry as it's, I know it's been raining in Tennessee. It's been raining here in South Carolina today as well. But you guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a good week. And go Vols.